What's going on, gamers? It's your boy. It's Falcon Hunter. But today, we're doing something a little different. A little different from the norm. We're going to play a game in celebration. Happens to be one of my favorite action-adventure games of all time, made by Nintendo. It's coming up on its 20th anniversary here at the end of November. And that game is Metroid Prime. Developed by Retro Studios way back in 2002 was the original release date. This game still looks so good. I mean, granted, we're playing it on Prime Trilogy, the best way you can play it, legally speaking, you know. But we're here to celebrate. 20 years old. This is the first Metroid game that really got me into the whole series to begin with. Let alone just really falling in love with the Prime series, but this is the game that started it all. So in honor of 20 years of Metroid Prime, we're going to do a playthrough. Now, I haven't played the Wii version here in quite a long time. Shoot, I think this game came out in like 2009, like this trilogy package came out in 2009, but it's done some like graphical enhancements to the game, so this is going to be the best viewing experience for y'all, you know. So we're going to play this game. We're going to have some fun playing this on veteran difficulty, which actually is the normal difficulty from the GameCube. But they decided to add a little bit of extra difficulty flair, some HD quote-unquote retexturings, and like some additions to the graphics to make it look a little bit better. And some small tweaks to the game itself too, but overall it's still the original format, so we're going to play through this game. And hopefully, you know, for those who haven't seen or maybe heard of this game, maybe this will get you excited. Maybe you'll get to play it yourself one day, but first, I'll show you what this game's all about. Now, this game was the first jump to 3D back in 2002 for Samus Aran, the main character. Now, with Mario and Link from Legend of Zelda having already getting their jumps to 3D being pretty massive successes, now it was this game's turn to do it. And they went pretty hard with the cutscene here. I will admit the background looks kind of meh. It's just kind of like stars and like brown and black backgrounds. But hey, look at the player model. Oh, it actually looks so good for being 20 years old. It's impeccable. Boom. Landed on this space frigate here, orbiting a planet. And now we're in. It's time to play Super Metroid Prime. Now, oh gosh, okay. Granted, when I normally play this game, I play it on the original GameCube release. So these controls are a little bit wonky for me, but it's not bad. Still kind of feels like, you know, feels like it fits like a glove. It's just a little bit different, but it's nice. One great addition about the Wii mode is that normally if you wanted to gain height while you're in like the ball form, morph ball, you'd have to use a bomb, right? Well, now with the Wii motion controls, I can just flick up and do the spring ball. So it's not really like overly helpful in this game. I mean, I know this game like the back of my hand. I've been playing it for quite a long time, but essentially in other games, in the sequels to this game, it will be much more handy for other things. But you know, it's a nice little change, nice little quirk that they did. Also, you know, the motion controls for the aiming is actually pretty nice. I do prefer kind of like the tankiness and the old school rotary controls of the GameCube. I just kind of vibe that a little bit more. But hey, either way, the game just runs super smooth. Oh, these nice little green little parasites showing me the map room. Everything is still super smooth, and I'm playing this on a Wii console, the original trilogy on the Wii, and it still runs fantastic. It's not exactly like the best quality that we know nowadays, but I mean, still looks great. Runs at 60 frames. Everything's fantastic. Now, we just grabbed ourselves a map for this place. It's called the Frigate Orphean in terms of the lore and the background story, but this is one of those games where it's like, you don't really need the story per se in order to have a good time. I mean, you can go and do all these little like scan logs, like I scanned a control panel back there to open up the airlock there so that I can like depressurize, enter the ship, because it's space, right? But, I don't have to scan most things. I didn't really need to get this map, but here, for example, let's look at these little tiny squares here are going to be the scan indicators. Like, let's scan this guy right here. Freaking exterior hull stable and fully functional. It just gives little blurbs here and there to add some lore and storytelling. Talon 4, Ground Zero area secured. Crater radiation readings normal. And it kind of gives you some hints as to the overall story, but it's not gonna tell you everything. You gotta play the game if you want to figure out what's going on around these parts. So, but all we know so far is that we're Samus Aran. We're this super crazy bounty hunter who goes around, filling some quests, doing some work for some agencies and stuff. But this time we intercepted a distress beacon because, as we'll come to find out here in a sec, the ship is a little worse for wear. I mean, we saw all of the all of the bodies and the monsters and the little gremlin, little parasites running around on the ground. So something bad really happened here, but we don't quite know what it is yet. And now we got these guys who are some space pirates, kind of showing them out. They're wounded, they're hurt, pretty messed up. But what were they doing here? They got all these vats and test tubes and things. We'll learn more about that later, but here, an example of something that's a little bit more important and more lore-driven are these red squares. They'll get recorded to your logbook that you can refer back to them later. So in this case, it's pirate data. It's been downloaded to the logbook. Space pirate encrypted data decoded. Log 0.9. Lots of numbers, blah, blah, blah. Zemus has fallen. All ground personnel are presumed dead, either killed by the Hunter, and that's us, clad in metal, or in the subsequent destruction of the underground facilities. Our research frigates Orphean, which happens to be the one that we're on, Sirius, and Volpargum were in orbit above zero at 0 hour and managed to retreat. Frigate Orphean is now docked at Vortex Outpost. Orphean's cargo appears to have a 100% survival rate. Metroids are healthy, but on restricted feeding schedules due to uncertain supply status. We're ready to begin research on the Metroids and other promising life forms. Security status remains at Code Blue. No signs of pursuit from the Hunter. So, this game does happen to be in the middle of the overall Metroid series that stars Samus Aran. So, but this is technically after the very first game that came out in like 1986, in between the second main game, which is just Metroid 2. In terms of storyline, it's in between that. I might eventually play those. Yeah, I got all these nerds walking around here. This guy's healthy though, and he's a bit rude. I might end up playing those games, but just for the sake that I might not, just to kind of fill in the gaps in the story here. Samus Aran is a big bounty hunter. She was hired by this organization called the Galactic Federation to go after this supercomputer called the Mother Brain. Now, this supercomputer was kind of like the leader of the space pirates and is trying to do a lot of bad juju inside of the galaxy with these things called Metroids, which are these super little gelatinous kind of, I don't know, they're kind of hard to describe. It's like a little like ball of gelatin that's got teeth, and it literally sucks the life out of things in order to gain energy. And it's just, the space pirates and Mother Brain thought it to be like the ultimate super weapon, right? So they tried to like really collect them and do research on them and use them for military purposes and stuff. But Samus Aran came in clutch and tore some shit up and kind of destroyed a lot of things. So this is kind of the aftermath of that. We had a couple of ships fly away from the ground, from the fighting, and one of them ended up here, which had a distress beacon for who knows why. I mean, I know why, but you guys will find out here in a minute. Start opening these big locks. And now, we're in the core of the ship. I also just love how these cutscenes are, too. It's like, they're pretty minimal, but they're just so good. I don't know. I'm looking at this with nostalgia-tinted glasses, of course, but just, oh, so cool. And holy shit, we got ourselves a boss fight. First boss fight of the game, always pretty cool. Now, back when I first played this, I probably played this when I was about like, probably like 8 or 9 years old, long time ago. I was super afraid of this game, and all the space pirates, and all the destruction, and all the, especially this thing, which we now know as the Parasite Queen, Parasite Female, genetically enhanced by unknown means. And I just, like, dropped this game for a long time. But, you know, eventually I played through it and I beat it. But, yeah, it's actually, like, a very atmospheric game, a lot of creepy tones to it, but it's a good game. It's fun. So. A weak spot has been detected in this creature's mouth. Use your auto-targeting to acquire this new target. Scans indicate the presence of a potent mutagen, origins unknown. Creature exhibits the ability to fire weapon-grade blasts of energy from its mouth, a trait not present in the standard parasite genome. The little green guys we were seeing earlier. It appears the pirates have begun a bioengineering program with considerable results. That's one thing that I really do like about this game. Is that, you know, I just like scanning and really getting the lore of everything here, but, you know, the scan visor actually proves to be super helpful sometimes because it'll give you some, like, special weak points that really tell you how to deal with bosses or certain, like, monsters and hostiles that you'll come across. Yeah, it's pretty useful. I just find it's a little fun, quirky thing that they added in this game. Oh, but just like that, Parasite Queen defeated. I will just preface this, like I said a little bit earlier. I've played this game did a lot of playthroughs of this game, so I, like, really know what's going on. I just want to share this with you guys, so if I'm kind of just, like, blazing through some bosses, I just know it like the back of my hand, you know. But now, we set that bitch into the reactor core, so the reactor core is kind of having a problem, so we need to leave, like, right now. Access the elevator, turn it on. Only 7 minutes until reactor implosion. And we'll be smart and use the scan device, like I just said, to turn off this turret here, who's hiding up here, because we don't want to deal with it. We got these assholes here too. Oh shit. We got a bit of a blockage. Kill that guy. Get past these fools. Ooh. Time to go. So it actually got to a point where I played this game so much to where I actually thought that I could, like, be a competent speedrunner at this game. Well, did some research. I did a couple of attempts of it on the GameCube version, the version that I just, like, know at the back of my hand. Turns out, I actually have a version of the game that, like, isn't the original per se, but it's, like, a patched version. Like, all of the tricks and the exploits that I attempted to do that I saw on, like, other YouTube videos or other speedruns and stuff like that were completely irrelevant to me because I had a version that patched out most, if not all, of those exploits. So, I developed my own run and came up with a time. I think my fastest time was probably about, like, 3 hours? 2.5, 3 hours maybe? But, you know, to give you just a reference, people who play the original GameCube version of the game finish this game in, like, a hair over an hour. Like, an hour 15. Like, that's, like, a crazy time. So, maybe one day. But not today. Today, I got to the door too slow. We're here just to, oh gosh. Almost got crushed by this little combustion thing. Yeah, we're here just to play this game, just to enjoy this game one more time. Show y'all maybe who haven't enjoyed the Metroid Prime series, or even just the Metroid series, how cool of a game this is, and just enjoy the 20th anniversary. Now we got ourselves another cutscene. What's this? It's a giant space dragon! You know, this game is a sequel, and it's a sequel in terms of the story directly after the first game. And if you were to have played the first game in the series, you would know that this dragon guy is actually known as Ridley. He's like the leader of the space pirates that we've been like crushing through here. We killed him in the first game. The problem is now it's like, oh, surprise, bitch! He's back, and he's a giant plasma spewing, rocket slinging robot of dragon-sized proportions. You know, he's just a beast. So big surprise there. He's a dragon, and we ain't gonna kick his ass. You know, the problem is he's a little bitch and he runs away. Oh no, what's this? Shit, the ship's falling apart. Oh god. My powers. They're all gone. Yeah, so, like I said, this is an action-adventure game, but if we're going to get specific about this is technically considered a Metroidvania kind of game. Now, what's a Metroidvania game? Obviously, it has the name in it, but Metroid back in the day and the series of Castlevania helped coin the term Metroidvania because they're a style of like action-adventure game where you start essentially from the bottom and work your way to the top to be this ultra powerful, badass player, whatever you have to be playing as, right? And going after and completing objectives and stuff like that. This game, and this series in general, just always has, like, you know, the beginning from bare bones to essentially a god and kills everything. But Metroid always tries and find, like, an excuse or, like, a reason why you don't have power-ups in between games. Like, you know, the first game, you know, you just start with nothing and you look around and you find stuff, you know, that's cool. The next games, and the subsequent series after that, you would think, well, wait a minute. Why do I not have my powers? I just got all of them in the game prior. Well, you know, some games do a better explanation than others. This one, not so much. I'm running around with some power-ups and getting used to them, you know, just in terms of the game. And then I get slammed into an elevator and I lose all my shit. Seems kind of... This is one of the not-so, like, better explained. I mean, at least it's explained. There are some games where they just don't explain it and they just plop you straight at the bottom at the start. But this is one of the poorer explanations as to, oh, you got your back hit by an elevator? Well, let me take all your stuff. I guess that frigate in space was also known as Detroit. Because we can't have shit in Detroit. And, you know, we go from the crazy, wild action of the frigate Orpheum in the sky to the calmness of Talon Overworld on the planet Talon 4. The problem is we were trying to go after big space dragon Meta Ridley, but his ass ran away like a pussy. So, kind of lost him in the storm, but now here is the proper beginning. Well, of course I want to save game, of course. You know, I know it's a lot to take in, but hey, this is the start of something beautiful. One of my favorite games that I'm just going to here to share to you, but, you know, we're going to take a little break, you know. I know you bought the whole seat, but trust me, you're only going to need the edge. It's going to get a lot better from here. But, you know, for now, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Hope to see you later.